destroyed, brah. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like and shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bond.
Road tripping. It's fun to be on the road, isn't it? Fun to be on the road when you win. 2 winners on the road in the NBA last night. Both the road teams beat 1 seeds on the road in the NBA playoffs. We got a couple of series going, or at least maybe we do. Happy Friday. Big weekend coming up, Mother's Day weekend. Wind should die down a touch. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, how you living?
What it do?
All right. Lot going on. I'm not going to lie, man. I might not be stunned that the Cavaliers won in Boston, but it's hard to think that I thought that they were going to win by, 20, whatever points. What's 18? 24 points? Celtics went in and pumped them, and it just goes to show what happens when you don't hit shots. And there's a team on the other side that's hungry, that's young, that rebounded last night, out-rebounded you 44-31, that you missed most of your three-pointers, shot 8 of 35. They got a star in Donovan Mitchell who can get hot. They got dudes who can play. Mobley can play. Strus can play a little bit. They bring LeVert off the bench, and I'm not surprised they win a game. I'm not surprised anybody can beat somebody in a game in the playoffs. But I'm a little surprised they went in there and won by 24. Now, it is the same team that lost game 2 at home in the last series to Miami, and they turned around and weren't threatened the rest of the way. Maybe they have to bring Porzingis back. But you got to be surprised a little bit the way this turned out.
When it's 24, it catches your attention, but we said this before the series. Boston's going to lose the game because they're not going to shoot well. And that's the one drawback with the Boston Celtics, is if they don't hit threes, can they do something else? Can they have a game where they say, all right, let's stop shooting threes for a second, try to go inside, and maybe focus on winning this game or keeping it close defensively. You didn't see that last night. They weren't able to find an edge anywhere else on the floor because we know how explosive they are. So I wasn't surprised that they lost the game. Like, it's the second round of the playoffs.
Right.
We got to. Right. There's this terrible narrative out there that you lose a game and now all of a sudden you're not. Well, you can't be a champion if you play like this. Yeah, one game. We knew this was. They were going to lose the game. It was going to look like this.
So that narrative is on the other two. One seed that lost, we're going to talk about.
No, it's on the Celtics too, because you have one game where you go ridiculously cold to get beat by 24 points, but we knew it was coming. You asked, hey, so how does Cleveland win a game when Boston doesn't shoot?
Yeah,
because the one thing they haven't done, and the one question is, okay, if you're not hitting your threes, can you adjust in that game? Not in a series, not to win 3 more games, but in that specific game.
Derek White went 1 for 8 from three-point line. He's been so good in the playoffs. He's been terrific. He had it that night last night. Al Horford, 3 for 7 from three-point line. Jaylen Brown, 0 for 6. So White and Brown combined 1 for 14. Throw Horford in there, and that's 4 for 21. Tatum was 2 for 25. All right, so that's 6 for 26. And all of a sudden, you're 8 for 35. And you're going down, you're chucking threes. I guess the answer is, and it's hard to adjust the way you play, right? When you shoot so well, typically as a team, it's hard to accept that night where, damn, we're not. We got to do something else.
Yeah, you're gonna try to shoot yourself through it.
That's what shooters do, shoot their way out of a storm, right? And so it's hard to not get there. I think anybody who's telling me the narrative that the Celtics can't win because of the way they looked last night, I think is ridiculous. And I'm hearing it on Oklahoma City as well, right? Oh, they got beat last night, and Luka was on one leg, and they're just, Minnesota's going to roll through them. And all right, let's see. It's the one seed who's looked great all the way through. Yeah, but they beat the Pelicans. Zion didn't play. Ingram was hurt, and they're
Well, that should be a 7-game series.
which one?
Oklahoma City, Dallas.
Okay.
Like, that's not surprising that Dallas was going to win game.
Hardly.
7.
Hardly. And Dallas won last night, 119-110 in Oklahoma. Luka had 29. He said it was one of the hardest games he's ever played. Yes. Cleveland, Boston. Does Cleveland win another game?
I think they can, because the difference
They're going to
here
go home.
is they have a takeover scorer in Donovan Mitchell. Cleveland is another one of those teams where it's not quite Minnesota level, but because people haven't watched them, they're like, it's a bunch of young dudes. No, it's not. Donovan Mitchell,
Mitchell's not
Max
that bad.
Strus was in the NBA Finals
That's
last year. Karis LeVert's been around the block.
Mobley's been around for a minute.
Like, so those the young guys are Garland and Mobley you're looking at, and they're performing at a high level.
3 years, yeah.
And, I think, can they win another game in the series? Yes, because of Donovan Mitchell. But I still like Boston overall.
Well, everybody left has a score that can take over, right? I mean, whether it's Tatum or Mitchell or Luka or Shea Gilgeous-Alexander or Jokic or Ant-Man or what's the other series?
Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson or Halliburton, kind of. Maybe Indiana doesn't have that guy. All right, but all right, 7 out of 8 do. That's kind of the way it is right now, right? Most good teams have a dude who, if he gets that way, it's playoff Jimmy. Oh, it's playoff Donovan. Oh, it's playoff. I'm stunned they got run out of their own court. I was in the car driving back listening to Celtics radio. Those guys were stunned. Listen to the Celtics broadcast. They were absolutely stunned that that happened in their building. And I think they kind of bought into the narrative that many people did. All right, this is a formality. And like you said yesterday, the Celtics have this golden path to the finals. Right? And I think
the difference, you put game 2 in Miami, it was a 10-point loss when they lost at home.
Yeah.
So they've lost the game at home. And so that's the one thing. And to your point is, it's easy to do. It's what sports fans do. If something's not working in a game, you're like, these guys are idiots. Coaches doesn't know what he's doing. Why don't you try to adjust? But you've won how many games the entire season? Well, 64 if you're the Celtics.
You've lost 18.
You're 4-1 in the first round. You ran past Cleveland 120-95 in game 1, and then in game 2 you missed some shots, and it's like, oh my gosh, these idiots don't know how to play. No, they tried to lean into 3 and they got blew out.
And pardon me for not wanting to blow the whole thing up because you lost one game and you're the best team in the NBA all year. I think Boston's going to be fine. There is some talk. Do you rush Porzingis back? They wanted to, I think, rest their big guy until the next series.
You don't rush anything right now.
If you lose another one, do you start thinking about, are you ready to play?
You should be thinking about that if they're up 3-1, down 2-1 regard. Like, it should be a normal, can you go? Is it just soreness now? Let's go thing as opposed to
what's
waiting.
The injury?
It's the calf. It's what Giannis is dealing with.
Yeah. It was one of those where it's just kind of going up and down the court, non-contact pop kind of thing. I mean, whether dude can play or he can't play, but there's a lot of talk, and that was on the Celtics broadcast. Well, I heard you bring Porzingis back now. I know they wanted to sit him, but you start thinking about bringing him back in Cleveland in Game 3, and whether he's not ready or if he's ready, he's ready.
That's panic mode.
After one loss in Game 2 of a series that you're 1-1. I am so littly concerned about Boston right now. Now, if they lose Game 2, we can have that conversation, and they become more concerned. They lost a game. They got blown out. I'm surprised they got beat as convincingly as they got beat. But I'm not worried about them. The other one last night was the Mavericks evening the series in Oklahoma City. P.J. Washington had 29 and 11. Luka playing, with a bad face and a bad leg and limping around and a bad attitude. 29, 10, and 7. and hit big shots all night. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 33 for the Thunder. It's a big win for the Mavs. I think you're right. That's a deep series, right? That one goes back and forth. Two pretty evenly matched teams.
Yeah, for Dallas, you have two takeover players in Luka and Kyrie, and then there's the rotation. It's if one of those guys isn't going off, you can have a PJ Washington game, and it was a PJ Washington game. He had 5 first half 3-pointers, and that was the difference. It got Dallas settled in and allowed Luka Doncic to become the closer. You didn't need Kyrie Irving, but the thing is, you're going to get Kyrie Irving more times than not throughout the series, and that's what makes Dallas dangerous versus Oklahoma City, is the multitude of ways they can attack you offensively. Because OKC, they're as good as they are. The one thing you look at and say, well, they're not a shutdown defensive team, and
So-
they're still going to have their moments. And you were watching last night, and the difference is Chet Holmgren.
Yeah.
The one thing I'm waiting for, the step in his career is you're that talented, you're that big, you're going to get your stats. Are you going to change one of these games?
Yeah, and progression in his career. I mean, you got to remember, it's his second year, but it's his first year. And I think that progression comes. But he is a first-year player, second-year guy, but first year, he sat out his whole first year. You mentioned Irving, and I have been so impressed with him in the postseason. And I know he didn't score a lot last night, but I felt he affected the game last night. He had 11 assists. I thought what he did defensively. There was a moment, Chet Holmgren was in the first half trying to take the ball up. Irving just went up and took it from him. Like there's a 7'4" guy or whatever the hell he is. How big is he? 7'2", 7'3"? What was he listed at? And
His 7-footer, just the way how skinny he is, he looks like he's
7'1".
like 9 feet tall.
Yeah, 7'1", 208. Some of those 5'10" guys are, coming up on that. You're going, whoa, what happened? But I thought what he did defensively, he affects the game. He's a creator. Kyrie Irving, when he plays basketball, when it's not about all the other stuff that he did, when it's not about flat earth or not taking a vaccine or not being available, Kyrie Irving can ball. And he only scored 9 points last night, which is fine to me because he had 11 assists. He played 41 minutes. I thought he played good defense. And I'm fine. Like, dude says, all right, I'm not shooting well tonight. Let me do other things. I thought he was really influential in that game, even though he didn't score much points.
Absolutely. That's the Kyrie you've been expecting everywhere. This is the guy that's made game-winning shots in the NBA Finals. This is the guy that's played good basketball on the biggest stage, and he's been a little bit distracted by certain things. You look at some of the other places he's been, and I think one of those conversations, too, is we'll get into it, too, with Phoenix. When you start looking sideways at Kevin Durant and the coaches he's gone through, the teams he's gone through, and everyone likes to pile on so many other players.
I know.
But you get Kyrie in a situation where people are like, oh, Kyrie, Luka, I don't know how this is going to work out, and it's been very good.
Working out a hell of a lot better than it is in Phoenix. When we come back, they made a coaching change. They've got their guy targeted. Why Frank Vogel was the fall guy and why they're looking at the guy they're targeting, because they say we're keeping our big three together. It's the opening drive on a Friday. Good morning to you. Guest list, Nick Nee, 8:30 this morning. We'll talk golf. PGA Championship is next week. We're going to get a golf tip from Nick Nee, maybe how to keep it low in the wind. And then Kenny Thomas will be here, the former Lobo great. We'll kick it with Kenny coming up at 9 o'clock, talk about the playoffs. And a couple of big guys coming in for Lobo basketball that we got to get into as well. Next, opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on? Who are you guys?
Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres. They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain. Who's that? That's your new buddy in jail.
I'm going out, Grandma.
When are you coming home?
I'll be home late. Don't wait up, okay?
Be careful, mijito.
Love you, Grandma.
Mijito. He's a good man. Sometimes he just makes bad decisions. I tell him, mijito, cuidado. Be careful. You might hurt someone. He doesn't listen.
I tell you to stop, okay?
Hello. It's me.
Hi, mijo. Where are you?
Dale was drinking and driving. I need you to come and get me, okay? Please, Grandma? Can you just come and get me? Grandma?
Leave him in jail.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Coaching stuff. And one of it you kind of saw coming. The other one is just out of nowhere. Kind of saw the Phoenix Suns making Frank Vogel their fall guy. After 1 year, they fired him. JJ, I told you after they lost, the Suns got swept the first round by Minnesota Timberwolves, who have still to lose in the playoffs. With that roster, with Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, whichever order you want to put them in. When Matt Ishbia came out, the owner, and said we're keeping them together, there was only one place to go, right? And they were gonna fire Frank Vogel. I don't think it was Frank Vogel's fault. I think the roster was constructed poorly. By the way, for everybody who complains about coach leaving and you got to pay him the 1.1 million that's left on his deal or whatever. You know how much Frank Vogel's going to get to walk away? You know how much is left on his deal? $20 million. And he's probably already well compensated from his past gig. Is he collecting for both the Lakers and the Suns right now? To sit on the beach?
It's possible.
I mean, fire me. Am I wrong? It sucks to get fired. I've been there.
It doesn't suck when you have guaranteed money.
That kind of money? I mean, their payroll is over $200 million. They owe him $20 million for the rest of his deal, and they're gonna have to pay Budenholzer $5, $6, $7, $8, $9 million a year, right? Because Mike Budenholzer is the guy that's coming in by every report. He's from Phoenix. He was under Greg Popovich for many years, won an NBA championship with the Milwaukee Bucks, and so he's the next guy that Matt Ishbia is, who's firing coaches every year now. Monty Williams wasn't good enough. I thought that was the biggest mistake. I thought that kind of what spiraled. Did you ever hear a story why? Was it just, you're not my guy, I'm going to bring in my guy?
There could be some of that. Matt Ishbia is trending towards the dude you don't want. The dude it looks like he's all in because of the money he's spending,
right.
But there's no patience. And you have to be able to take a step back and have some patience. And when you go through 3 coaches in 3 years, and by the way, do you know Kevin Durant? This is 6 coaches in 6 seasons for KD.
Yep.
So start looking sideways at KD a little bit.
Well, so I heard that coming in too. And yeah, and LeBron eats that. What's the shelf life of a coach in the NBA?
Well, you're not winning if you have this. Not winning anywhere. Like,
I agree with that. Giannis Antetokounmpo's had 3 coaches in less than a calendar year. Are we going to look sideways at him? I mean,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because you pushed out the dude that you won a championship with.
Budenholzer.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like, none of this makes sense to me in the NBA world where you think, well, it's basketball. This should happen faster.
100%.
Let's fire a coach after one season.
So they go through coaches so quickly. I think, yes, there's a conversation there. 6 coaches in 6 years is a deal. You know, what's LeBron at 6 and 10 years? It's wow. You look at it. Giannis, 3 in 1 calendar year. Yeah. But then I start looking at the shelf life of coaches and I look around the league. I mean, how many Greg Popoviches and Eric Spoelstras are there? After those 2, what's the longest tenured coach? Is it 3 years? Maybe? Is it Ty Lue with the Clippers?
Malone's been there.
Michael Malone's been there 11. Yeah, 12. Okay. Those are the anomalies, right? And you mentioned Matt Ishbia, the owner. Right? Here's a guy that made a lot of money outside of this, and obviously a bright business guy. Takes over a dumpster fire where the former owner had all these sexual abuse allegations and bad workplace allegations, just a mess. So this guy comes in and he's going to make it work. And I told you, I was in Phoenix last week and I was listening to Sports Talk Radio, and they think, the guys that I was listening to, and I don't know if it was the Sun station they got to kiss up to. I don't know. But they, he's a smart guy and he's going to make the right decision. He's going to do the right things. And I'm like, I don't know. Is he? Is that the place you want to play, or is that the place you want to stay away from? Because it feels like it's becoming smarter than you guy. It feels a little, and I'm not saying it's got to this point, but it feels a little Daniel Snyder-ish, a dude who made a lot of money in something else and is going to come in and wants to own a sports team and bought one. And it's fantasy football.
It's doing a little bit too much. And
right?
You look at these, you're right. It's, coaching is a not for long business as well. But when you're doing 1 to 2 years, you're doing too much. Whether you have LeBron James or Kevin Durant, because you look at some teams that are left in the playoffs. Boston's their head coach stepped in it. So that wasn't a franchise that was doing too much with Ime Udoka.
This is Joe Mazzulla's second year.
They fired him, and so that was that turnover. Or this would still be Udoka's team.
Probably.
At this point in time.
Now
but
he's in Houston.
You look at JB Bickerstaff, he's been there since 2020. So they grew, developed Jason Kidd since 2021 alongside a superstar, and they haven't.
So started the 21-22 season? So this is his 3rd season.
And then they just gave him a contract extension.
Yeah.
You look at, we know the run Steve Kerr's been on. Mm-hmm. Rick Carlisle took over the Pacers in 2021, so that same 3-4 year window.
3-4 years is a long time, and it's just not. I mean, it's just not.
Thibodeau took over the Knicks in 2020.
So 3 to 4 years.
Mark Dano, OKC 2020.
And they stayed with him. All right, fair enough. The context is good, but if 3 to 4 years is a long time, coaches are getting fired a lot. You look at some of the marquee franchises, what the Lakers do, and maybe marquee isn't the name, maybe some of the marquee players. You're right. What the Nets did, how many did they go through, right? When Kevin Durant was there. Lakers, when LeBron was there. Now the Phoenix Suns. I mean, teams are going through. How many Charlotte been through? Not that they've had a premier player or anything. But all right, fair enough. The other coaching news, JJ, this one, we got to. Is there an email? Where'd I get? I got an email from Dean. He says, "Good morning. Interesting deal with Jeff Linder, going from Laramie to Lubbock. Were there some internal problems or a better job?" So Jeff Linder is the coach, or was the basketball coach at Wyoming, Mountain West. Jeff Linder is gone. Whether it's going to happen or it's already happened, it's everywhere. He is going to Texas Tech. You're like, oh, well, of course he is. Great job. No. He's going to be the top assistant under Grant McCasland at Texas Tech. So he's going from being a head coach in the Mountain West at Wyoming, where he was 63-59 in 4 years, made one NCAA tournament appearance, to being an assistant in the Big 12. And so the answer is it a better job? Define better. If the definition of better means it pays more, yeah, he'll make more money as an assistant, I'm certain, JJ, at Texas Tech than he was making as a head coach at Wyoming. And we watched. Where's Rodney Terry did this? Not necessarily voluntarily. Well, yeah, he did. He left Fresno State and went to UTEP, right? And then did he get fired at UTEP?
He was a head coach though at UTEP.
He was. He got fired at UTEP, I believe. Became the assistant at Texas, and then when the whole Chris Beard thing blew up, he played his way into being the head coach of Texas, and now I'm sure he's making $4 or $5 million a year. There's coaches who believe that the path to being a power conference coach might be better if I got a buddy who's a head coach. I'm going to be the top assistant in a power conference as opposed to being in Laramie.
No, it's because he missed his window. He stayed at Wyoming too long.
Did he have opportunities? Then he was up for a lot of jobs. He was up for the Washington job. He was up for a number of jobs. Was he offered?
No, he wasn't offered one. You're absolutely right. That's fair. Like, when you look at that. But it's also the fact that Wyoming is San Jose State now. They lose their best player every season.
They do. And it's a tough place to recruit young basketball players. Like the demographic is what the demographic is.
Like, he peaked, and it's not getting better.
So you think Wyoming's just going to be a tough place now to win basketball, period?
Yes.
Yeah. Because of the portal and guys used to go up there and, all right, that's my one offer. So I go up there and I'm really good. Well, I'm here. Now, hey, I'm really good. I'm Graham Ike. I'm going to Gonzaga. I'm Hunter Maldonado. Did Hunter Maldonado get out? No, he stayed till the end.
He stayed.
Yeah, he stayed. But they just lost 3 guys in the portal this year. So is an assistant coach at Texas Tech a better job? I mean, define better job.
It is at this point.
If you want to be a head coach, there's 355 head coaching jobs in Division I. Can you win at Wyoming with the resources now? I got no doubt Wyoming's trying to put resources into it. Geography plays a part in it. Why, San Diego State has done some great things over the years. One of the main things that kept Steve Fisher and Brian Dutcher there, not only the commitment, they love being in San Diego. Laramie is a tough place. Look, you've been to Laramie. I've been to Laramie. I've never had a bad time there. Laramie's beautiful. It would be a tough place for a young African-American athlete to spend 4 years. Is that fair?
Yes, it is.
There's not a lot of people who look like you. There's not a lot of things to do. It's a small town. It is cold.
You can see from one side to the other.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, I love Laramie. I've never had a bad time in Laramie. But I could see it is a tough place to recruit. And so Jeff Linder, I think, saw this as an opportunity. And I don't know Jeff other than meeting him once, maybe twice. Saw this as an opportunity to, hey, you know what? It's my way out. And I can parlay this into maybe another head coaching job somewhere where I got a better chance. He was at Northern Colorado before. He won at Northern Colorado in the Big Sky. and this is what he's going to do. It's an interesting move, JJ.
I think it's a tough move for Jeff Lerner because he bought in and he stayed the course and he was all in with the pokes, but he also sees the writing on the wall of his assistant coach with a Texas Tech team that's probably going to win a decent amount of games, beginning of Big 12. It's going to get you more looks than sticking around to be the head coach of a team that's finishing in the bottom half of the Mountain West Conference now.
Wyoming, in the last 2 off seasons, Wyoming has had 14 players going to the portal. Graham Ike. I mean, you look at some of the names. So we'll see who's going to replace him. Steve McLean's one of the names. The former coach. Remember him? He's one of the names that I'm seeing up there. Sundance Wicks is a name that we're seeing. So we'll see. But it's really interesting the way that goes down. All right, Lobo's got some help. I'm looking at Doug Gottlieb's name. Would Doug Gottlieb take that job? He wants to coach, dude. That'd be interesting to have Doug Gottlieb in this league. All right, 505-246-0610 if you want to get in today. 888-922-0610 if you still pay a toll. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. When we come back, say it with me. They got a big guy, and I think you're going to like him. I'll tell you his name next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, The Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit International Protective Service.
A lie?
You're going to lie.
Well, a tiki, a
A
lie,
lie?
a tiki.
Where's the A lie?
Because that's what phonetic is.
I'm looking at
L-I-E.
I'm trying to spell out the phonetic. Then the phonetic that you got there is A lie. Is that not? A-L-I-E? A lie?
How do you pronounce the lowercase a versus the uppercase a?
Lower would be A, and the upper would be A. A tiki, A lie, a tiki. He's your new center. 6'10". Was at BYU. Thumb injury last year. You got big, boys and girls. Lobos over the last 2 days got big in the front court. They got, I believe, a rim protector. They got a guy who should be bouncy in signing yesterday when you got Daniel Thomas, or 2 days ago, and then yesterday you get a tiki. JJ, I had heard, and I think I told you when I came back, I heard some talk that they were looking at one of the BYU transfer, the big guys from BYU. He is another international player from Tanzania. It's a very international roster, which is fine. I have no problem with that. But you start looking at what they're doing. And JJ, you broke this down. Backcourt, swing, forward, centers. I kind of like the roster. You got guards Donovan Dent, an incoming freshman in Cade Dotson, True Washington, C.J. Nolan, the transfer from North Texas. You feel if you got C.J. Nolan got you a little bit bigger in the backcourt. You know what you're getting with True Washington. I think he'll get better offensively, and he's really good defensively. You got one of the best point guards, certainly in the West, maybe in the country. And we'll see what Cade Dotson is. And Richard Pitino's let it be known that he's got no problem letting a freshman earn his way into playing time. And Quentin Webb is a guard as well, as is Braden Applehunt. 6'6" and 6'7". They're both big. So I look at it and say, okay, you're pretty deep. Do I have a shooter is the only question, right?
No, you don't. That's where you hope the development of Applehunt is there, because the kid has that ability in him. Can he be that spark off the bench as part of the rotation? You hope to see that this upcoming season. But what it does is it gives them defensive cover when Nelly Jr. Joseph is on the bench. They didn't have that last year.
Well, so when we're going to the front court with Milicevic, the incoming freshman, 6'10".
Well, just specifically with the BYU transfer, it's an
100%.
exact one-for-one defensive center.
So you think we ever see a Tiki and Nelly Jr. Joseph together? That's a lot for Robert to do. A Tiki a Tiki over to Nelly Jr. Joseph, back to a Tiki.
Oh, you know what it's going to be.
Oh, a Tiki or
Triple A. They're Nelly. T-Dub.
All right, that's fine. Makes it easier.
Donnie Dent.
Donnie. Do we see a lot of? Do we ever see a Tiki and Nelly on the floor together?
A little bit.
Okay.
But I think that would probably put a lot of strain on you offensively.
Well, I think. I want to see what he can do offensively. And I know what Nelly can do and what he can't do. And by the way, I don't think he can. He's a liability. But all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, Borovichinen supposedly can ball. I got big, dude. I got 6'10", 6'10", 6'10", 6'9", 6'9", 6'8". I mean, it's UConn kind of big. I'm not telling you UConn kind of talented.
The only problem,
Yeah.
I need to see the weight room.
No, fair enough. 100%.
Because the Clemson game wasn't about, oh, you're not tall enough. It's you ain't
You got
strong
pushed
enough.
around. Yeah, I agree.
And these guys coming in there long. Can you put forearm into somebody?
I look, I'm down with that.
So that's my thing. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, you're tall. All right. Still got to have that edge to you.
Some thickness. And I think Nelly's got that. I want to see the transfer from Arizona, Filip Borovichinen. I want to see him play because I think there's some girth there. I think I know what Amzil is, and then Atiki feels like I got a rim protector. Look, we talked about. I want to see him play more. I'm not going to pretend I watched a bunch of BYU, watched him play. But my thought turns to like a Nathan Mensah kind of a thing. You know what I mean?
That was Nelly, man.
Nelly's not that as big as Mensah. I'm thinking it's 6'10", a rim protector that makes everything tough. A guy's driving and he comes off and is able to if not block a shot, alter a shot. And Nelly's partially that guy.
Nelly's that guy.
Okay. Now I got another one.
But now you
and
finally have
one?
some
Longer.
They're both 6'10". So.
Okay. Is Nelly 6'10"?
Yeah. What's the listed height of all these players?
Yeah. All right. What do I need now? I got one scholarship left. Do I want to find a shooter?
Ideally.
I'd be fine right now if you said they signed this JUCO shooter.
But I think it's going to be interesting to see with Mustafa and Philip how those guys play the 3 and 4. Because Mustafa's still going to have to play inside some.
He is. But I think he's, right now, is he your best 3-point shooter?
Most experienced.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of shooter Cade Dotson is. I really don't. Or Nolan. I kind of want to snipe him. You know what I mean? Because all of a sudden I feel like I filled a lot of
playing time coming from Jeff.
Whoever earns it, JJ. Yeah. Whoever earns it. That's where the playing time.
So to me, this is more about I don't know. Of course, any lineup is possible, but this to me is more of a kind of true 1-for-1 when Nelly's off the floor. You still have that defensive presence, which you didn't have.
Okay. I love
there. I'm really interested about the small forward and power forward rotation because I know Mustafa wants to play the 3, but I'm just thinking about some of the wing players that we've seen in this league and what we talk about, and I don't think that's bodes well for them defensively. So how do they use their size to then counteract it on the other end of the floor?
At some point, you're just going to have to get better defensively as an individual, right? I mean, at some point, if you're telling me I can get better, you can work on your shot. You can become a better shooter.
I think I think it's just quickness. Like I know Mustafa wants to play the 3, but I'm like
he gets beat by
Blackshears. Like that's the style of wing you see in this league.
Yeah, fair enough. He can't guard Keenan Blackshear. Yes. So who can? So is it Quentin Webb now? Is Quentin Webb getting some time? Is CJ Nolan guarding him? Is that where I'm going now? And I'm okay with that.
You're those guys are gonna get their chances.
All right. Lobos getting some bigs though. They got big this week. Do you feel better about it? I know it doesn't ease the pain. JT Toppin left, and look, these guys. Everything I hear about Atiki, I hear good things, and he was hurt, and you can develop. You got big. You got transfers. Transfer from Arizona. You got one from BYU. Do you feel better about it? You got one left. What do you want? 505-246-0610 is how to get here. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive. When we come back, boy, is the NFL active. It always is. When's Jared Goff going to get paid? This one seemed like it was done, and it seemed like one of the easier quarterback situations to solve, but all of a sudden it's not that easy. What are the Lions going to do? It's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro V.
610, the sports animal.
We talk about some quarterback extensions and should they and shouldn't they, and Dak is always the big conversation. What are the Cowboys going to do with Dak? Are they going to give him $50-something million a year? What are the Dolphins going to do? Is Tua earned that? One of the easiest conversations seemed like 29-year-old Jared Goff, guy who has basically helped to turn the Lions franchise around. Got them a win in the playoffs last year and is fit in. I mean, it feels like perfectly with everything they're doing up there. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. So I haven't paid any attention to it. And when it started getting noisy this week, JJ, that he hasn't signed a new deal yet, that he's going into his last year, that there is a little bit of conversation around that. I'm not going to lie. I was a little surprised by this.
No.
Okay.
You're looking at contracts that you're talking about more guaranteed money than anyone else is signing, more than
the Lions as a team.
No, more than Amon-Ra St. Brown, Penny Sewell.
Yeah.
You're giving out big contracts. When it comes to the quarterback contract, it's always going to be the biggest one on your team. So it's finding the right balance between guaranteed money, signing bonuses to where the player is happy, and then you can still somehow, some way navigate through the cap of trying to keep as many of your star players happy as possible.
So to your point, last month in April, Lions gave Amon-Ra St. Brown a new deal. 4 years, $120 million. That's $30 million a year, $77 million guaranteed. Their offensive tackle, Penei Sewell, 4 years, $112 million, $85 guaranteed. So for Goff, there's time, but it's getting a little urgent. He's going into his last year. He makes $22.3 million this year. Good geld. He ranks him 8th amongst all quarterbacks. You would say, you know what? That's kind of where he should be. And if you were saying, give me a rank of quarterbacks, where would Jared Goff be? And you'd probably put him right in that 5 to 8 range, wouldn't you? I mean, he's not Mahomes. You'd probably put Burrow and Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and who's absolutely ahead of him. Who'd I miss?
Well, in a perfect world, you do that, but that's not usually how it works.
Understanding, but
contract negotiation.
It's almost never how it works. But I mean, you'd say he's kind of getting paid about where he is, but it's his turn, and so their general manager it wants to get these things done, and it makes sense that he wants to get things done, and he's got some work to do to get things done. The quote was, and this is Brad Holmes, in a perfect world, we'd have had all three of them done bang, bang, bang. But that quarterback market, as you're saying, JJ, is a little more difficult to navigate in negotiations. Faith that it's going to get done because both sides are committed to getting to the finish line. First and foremost, he's earned an extension. It's important. It's a high priority for us on both sides, working really hard on these things. This gets done, right? He gets, I mean, they defer a bunch of money. They give him a bunch of money up front. I mean, however you circumvent the cap. And he ends up, about $45 million a year?
So he said he was, where was he, 8th?
Yeah, 23 point, whatever I told you this year, 22 point, whatever. He's going to make $22.3 million this year. Which, by the way, if you'd have told me he's making $22.3 million, I'd have told you he ranks about 16. That would have been my guess.
Yeah, with the new contracts going through, if you're making $23 million, you'd be the 18th highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
18th?
Yeah.
And this column says 8. All right. So Jared Goff is better than the 18th quarterback in the NFL. So they'll get that fixed, right? Before camp, they figure that out. I mean, that feels
this is one thing where there's going to be noise, but Jared Goff's not the dude that's going to let it affect him. It's not going to hurt the Lions. Like if it ends up going longer into the, like if you get into the season and you see sometimes players will say, well, I don't want to talk about it until the end of the year, then I guess there could be some uneasiness. But with Dan Campbell, the head coach, Jared Goff, the quarterback, they don't seem like personalities that is going to let something like this derail their year.
It feels like a pretty functional franchise right now. I agree with that. All right, another quarterback. This will be a second-year guy, Will Levis. We've talked about everybody else getting the weapons. We talked about what Chicago has done for their young quarterback. We talk about what they're doing to make sure that Aaron Rodgers is happy. Everybody else. So he had DeAndre Hopkins last year, right? They went inside Calvin Ridley, and then really quietly last week, they got Tyler Boyd. Boyd's got 2,000-yard seasons. He averaged 68 catches, 4 touchdowns. Will Levis, it's his time, right? Year 2. I mean, this is a big year for that franchise and that quarterback. Don't you think? And I like Will Levis.
It's a big year for any quarterback.
Well, it is.
But Tennessee is doing is what a lot of teams are understanding of. Oh, if we have a young quarterback, we kind of need to go over the top offensively to see if this guy can play, to give this guy an opportunity. So you bring in, I think, a lot of people would say Vrabel wasn't a bad coach, but you just have
he was a good coach,
a transition where you bring in an offensive coordinator to be your head coach. Brian Callahan, so the OC from Cincinnati.
That's right.
So you're bringing an offensive coordinator to be your head coach to specifically see if Will Levis is going to work or not. You give Calvin Ridley a gigantic bag. You bring in Tyler Boyd, who can help him with that offense because that's where he played the last 4 seasons in Cincinnati, to be your number 3 receiver. You got our running back by committee approach.
Led by Tony Pollard.
Took away Derrick Henry, but you gave Will Levis better options on the outside. And Tennessee is going about this the exact right way. Young quarterback, let's flood him with weapons and see if he can play.
I find them to be the sneaky team in that division. Everybody's on Houston, and rightfully so. They should be. And Jacksonville's going to be good coming back. I just think Jacksonville horribly underachieved last year. Indianapolis with that young quarterback that they're going to get healthy. And so everybody just passes on Tennessee. If they can play some defense, which is what they did in the past decade, if they can play some defense, they're going to be all right. Kenny will be here. We'll talk kick it with Kenny coming up at 8:30 this morning, 505-246-0610. Rasheed Rice, what are you doing? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports On.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your
Big night on the road in the NBA. Not so much in the National Hockey League. Good morning to you. Merry Friday. It's the opening drive. Jeff Sumbieta, JJ Buck. Road teams Cleveland and Dallas win last night in the NBA last night. Luka Doncic 29 playing. Did you watching him at some point? Was Hubie Brown, the commentator on ESPN last night, says, well, we'll find out right here how hurt he is. Right? Luka, he's limping, he's wincing. Then he got the ball and he looked fine. He looks like Luka. He hits a three and he's chirping at the crowd. Everything seemed to be just fine. I think he's really hurt. I think dude can play through pain. I don't doubt that guy is hurt, but he's really good at playing through it. How about that? Is that a fair way to assess it?
Well, it's also his style of game. He's not an explosive player. He's not going to blow by you. He uses his size and physicality to create space, to have his touch in the lane. So him playing on a sprained knee versus anyone else is a little bit different.
29 last night for him. They win. That series is even 1-1. Cavaliers win by 24 in Boston. Again, not stunned that the Cavs win. Kind of stunned that they blew Boston out of their own building, but the Celtics shoot 8 for 35 3-point land. That's how you – I don't even say that's how you beat. That's how a one seed gets beat by a Cleveland Cavaliers team who got 29 out of Donovan Mitchell. He scored 16 in the third quarter. And so that series is tied 1 game apiece. Tonight, you will get a couple of games in the NBA. You will get – what do I get tonight? They get the Nuggets tonight, don't I? Get the Knicks in Indiana and the Nuggets in Minnesota. Those will be your 2 games tonight. Opening drive, Jeff Sumbieta, JJ Buck, 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. On the Twitter or X, it's _JJ Buck. Adrian's producing the video side on ProView Networks, their YouTube channel, on our Facebook page, the OD in the AM, and on Comcast Channel 26 around the state of New Mexico, so you can find it there. All right, Rashee Rice, JJ. So the more that comes out on Rashee Rice is the former SMU receiver, the Chiefs wide receiver, who was driving that leased Lamborghini that you've seen the video of that caused the accident in Denver, where he walked away from the accident, so he's facing legal problems. Then this week he was accused. He hasn't been arrested or charged, punching a photographer in the face outside a nightclub. And JJ, the way this thing comes down is kind of crazy. There's reports that he was in his car. He was leaving the lit kitchen and lounge and got on the Instagram and was messaging this alleged victim to come on back. And the guy came back to the place, said, yeah, I thought he wanted me to take pictures. And he clocked him in the side of the face. And I hate casting decisions until I know, until it all plays out. But JJ, dude, can't just put him at 2 a.m. You can't put yourself in these positions when you're that guy and you're already on the edge. You've got it made. You've got your lottery ticket punched. You're really good at football. You landed in an unbelievable situation. You were Patrick Holmes' #1 wide receiver. And now then we had this conversation the other day. You just got to lay low, man. Just go away. Get out of Dallas. Stop hanging with your guys. Go to a beach. Go get the hell out of there. Get out of my news. What are we doing, dude?
Even if there wasn't a physical altercation, you were still putting yourself in a situation where there was some sort of altercation that was occurring in the morning around a club, people enjoying themselves with everything you've done. What you're doing is you don't care. You don't have people around you that care. And you're just about a lifestyle more than anything else.
There's plenty of people that say, dude, that's his beach, man. He likes going out with his boys and going to the club. And that's cool. But if you can't stay out of the news,
how many other people did that same exact thing over the weekend that are athletes
that aren't in the news?
In the news right now.
Yeah. Many of them. Yeah, all the other ones who did that. Yeah, all of the ones who did that would be the answer. 100% of the other guys who went out and had a few and had fun. And if you can't do that, then you got to get the hell away. Because if you haven't already, you've pissed away a career. A lucrative life, because you can't stay off of TMZ, man. And I look at it, I'm like, I don't know the dude. I know people who know him. I look at it, I'm like, why? Just why? Because I like to have fun. Because I like to go out with my guys. All right. The roast the other day. Told you that everybody liked it, it seemed. Except for those people who just say, I can't like anything about Tom Brady. Right? There's that crowd that, no, it wasn't that funny.
Well, and those that took strays from it, I can understand.
The Gisele's and Aaron Hernandez's fiance. Yeah. Everyone except for them. The people who kind of caught the shrapnel. Yes. But the other ones are like, yeah, I don't like anything about it. It wasn't that funny. It actually was. It actually was funny. And it was well done and it was funny. And if you don't like Tom Brady and you don't like any of that, like, there's other things, there's bigger things than Tom Brady. Yeah, there are, but this was about Tom Brady. This particular event was a roast of Tom Brady. Yeah, you're just a quarterback and there's other things in the world. Yeah, there are. But this particular event was about roasting Tom Brady. Sorry. Evidently, Brady apologized to Gisele. She was upset that she took so much heat, his former wife. And you kind of get that, right?
But this is one, if you're Tom,
yeah,
and you're going to do a roast, and you're kind of a big part of setting this up, as it's about you, you're going to get roasted. What do you think's going to happen? Because if you go in there and it's one thing, well, I think even the roasters, like the comedians, if you say, hey, can you just keep like the kids out of it? They're going to be like, okay. But if you go into a roast and you already heard, and it's been told by people that were on there that Robert Kraft happy ending jokes were off the table. And then you're like, well, then we need to keep this off tape. Then if you're one of those comedians, like, what am I doing? Like, why are we doing this?
Right. So how do you have a roast, by the way, that's televised by Netflix? So there's roasts all the time. They're just not televised to the whole world. And they're not star-studded like that.
Like the whole point of this is to get uncomfortable.
Evidently, Tom, according to Us Weekly, spoke with Gisele. She called them disparaging comments and apologized. So they have a Us Weekly reported Gisele and Tom have a no disparaging remarks rule when it comes to speaking about each other or their marriage and divorce. She was definitely offended and upset about the comments made at the roast. She thinks her new relationship should have been off limits. But Tom did reach out to Gisele to apologize to her. They're cordial and only communicate about the kids. That's according to Us Weekly. It sounds like many, many divorces do. I mean, I think I've been through it. I hope you don't go through it. Many of the people who are listening have been through it, right? You put in there, we're not going to talk crap about.
I just think it's so funny after, like, no one's ever heard of a roast before. Like, no one gets what goes into it. Like, people are going to be offended. People around your life are going to be directly affected. Did Tom not think of this? Was Tom just like, hey, they're just going to make fun of me the whole time. It's going to be great because it's going to be about me. I'm Tom Brady, and I need to be the center of everything. What do you think was going to happen?
So I go back to the whole premise of this. Whose idea was this? Was this for charity? Like, why do we do a Tom Brady roast?
There's no Tom Brady roast for charity.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Was this just to, well, he's Tom Brady and people talk about it? Like, is that why we did this?
Let's see what the internet says.
Are we celebrating his big milestone 46th birthday? Like, I mean, what was the impetus for this? Because I'll stand by. I thought it was well done. I thought it was funny. And I get it. It's Tom Brady, and he's, but he's been retired 2 years. It's not like he just retired. It's not like he hit his 50th birthday. It's like 46. I'm just kind of curious. Was there a charity angle, or was this just to make everyone feel uncomfortable at new Tom Brady? And have him sit there and just eat it? Because you're not wrong, dude. It's a roast. It's all going to come up. And what's the easiest thing to hit him on? The most recent thing, his marriage blew up and in Deflategate, and yes. And I'm sure she didn't watch it live. But just like you and me and everybody else, it was impossible to not get hit over the head with a bunch of the jokes. And I'm sure all of her people pointed out to hear what he said. Evidently, she's dating her jiu-jitsu instructor. Come on, Tom, you're a smart guy. 8 lessons and she's still a white belt. I mean, that's funny if you're not her, right? It's funny if you're not the brunt of the joke. It's kind of like other people's pain is funny. You see another guy get hit in the junk and it's kind of funny, but it's not. You know what I mean?
Yes, that is actually how internet videos started.
Yeah.
Before what they become now.
Before they come in. Did you see anything on how this whole thing, the impetus behind this?
Well,
or it's just Netflix
I do not think there was any charity angle involved.
All right, so it was Netflix was going to make, and everybody was going to make money.
A Netflix roast of Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time.
Well,
the Patriots story swirling just the end of Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft, all this stuff. Like, it was just a comedy roast.
Okay, and it was well done. I don't have a problem with it, but I'm not the point of the jokes. I can see why Gisele would. I could see, I guess, pardon me for not having the deepest sympathy for Aaron Hernandez's fiance, although I guess I should. She's got an 11-year-old daughter that was caught in the middle of this too. Yeah, that's what they are.
Jokes are going to be there for her entire life.
That poor girl. Yeah, that's her dad.
It's not the fault of a roast of Tom Brady.
No, I just brought it back.
But I just think if Brady's out there apologizing, he was an executive producer on this.
Yeah, what's he apologizing for?
Up. Yeah. And so now I was like, I'm sorry. Like, what did you think was going to happen, man? You made this about yourself.
100%.
And no one, and the people you have involved, Jeff Ross, Kevin Hart, these aren't like the happy-go-lucky, hey, we're PG comics. None of that.
Yeah, Nikki Glaser. Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. Nick Nee's going to be with us at 8:30. Kenny Thomas at 9 o'clock. Got a sweet deal coming up for you. And when we come back, Caitlin Clark made her WNBA. I mean, this is like her first debut, but her real debut is going to be coming up. This is like the preseason debut, but it's her first debut, but not a real debut, but her next debut. But what a debut. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom. Boom.
Driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. and my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
The WNBA exhibition game, the Indiana Fever against whoever the hell they played. I don't even know if there was another team there, JJ. By the way, it was the Atlanta Dream. Caitlin Clark made her preseason debut in the WNBA. She scored 12 points. Attendance last night for the Fever preseason game, 13,028. It's nice. Give me context, Jeff. I shall, says me. JJ, last year, Indiana, this game is nearly 4,000 per game more than Indiana averaged for its 20 home games. This was a preseason game. She will move the needle everywhere she goes. Every team is selling the tickets when Indiana's Fever comes at a premium, whether you go to LA or Connecticut or Detroit or wherever, Vegas. 12 points for her last night. And the people who tell me this is just going to go away, I think are wrong. I think it will simmer down a bit, not die down. I think it simmers down a bit. But she will be a hit in every town she goes to.
Absolutely. It's going to be an amazing year for the WNBA. Wherever Caitlin Clark goes, it will be the highest attended game of the season.
Is she, like right now, is she the front runner for Time Magazine's Person of the Year? And I know there's a lot going on in the world. You could tell me Benjamin Netanyahu and that doesn't mean the most talked about person. It could be Trump. It could be a lot of people. But I mean, she's been as talked about as any non-politician, period, right? More than Taylor Swift, I think, this year. Last year was Taylor's year. Although Taylor is still pretty big. I'm not downplaying that. I tell you Michael's better than LeBron doesn't mean I hate LeBron. I mean, you got somebody that's got more press and for the most part positive than Caitlin Clark in the first 4.5 months of this year.
It's a wild list.
Isn't it kind of crazy?
I don't know if Caitlin Clark's.
Well,
look at this. So it's
Are you looking? Is there a poll for this already, or is there odds?
So it went Elon Musk, and then the president of Ukraine / the spirit of Ukraine.
Was this like?
Then it was Taylor Swift.
Is this like who Time Magazine's People of the Year have been? Yeah. Was Taylor Swift last year?
The last three.
Well, it totally makes sense though.
That's quite the 180.
But it's because the way they do it, and I think it's right. It's People of the Year. It's like who are people? What's been the biggest stories? And I guess the biggest story of the year period is so far has been, I mean, certainly the war, and then you can tell me it's been the Trump trials. Caitlin Clark, to me, 4.5 months in, might be the front runner for Time Magazine People of the Year or Person of the Year. I don't know. I mean, I guess I got 2/3 of a year left to go. Stigler, who's your Time Magazine Person of the Year front runner right now? Caitlin Clark? You think? Wait, no way. So what were the last three? It was Elon Musk. It was Vladimir Zelensky, and Taylor Swift for the last three. So I mean, it's not like it's got to be somebody who.
Yeah, but Taylor Swift's a global phenomenon. Caitlin Clark's not.
Okay, as are the other three, or the other two. They are global.
Somebody in Netanyahu or somebody in that conflict.
See, I mentioned that, right? Yeah, with that conflict. All right, thanks for coming. It's good to see you. All right, good day now. Did you get some pizza? Is there pizza out there? Not yet. Oh, it's just that's for the afternoon. It comes in. No, all right. So you'll get fed later. Mackenzie's here. What's up, Mackenzie?
Hi.
How you living?
Good. How are you?
Good. We got a sweet deal for you today, as we do on Fridays and Tuesdays, and this one is one of your favorites, and it will go fast. So get on, set your alarm. Go on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the sweet deal at 9:00, and for $25, you get $50 worth of Pizza 9. I've heard that the kids don't want fruit trays and veggie trays and that stuff at their grad parties. They want Pizza 9.
Yes. So go to Pizza 9 for your graduation party.
And there's lots of them going on, and there's birthday parties. Did I hear you got engaged?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mackenzie got engaged, JJ. And so at the reception, I mean, just so you know, people at the reception, they don't want fruit trays and hors d'oeuvres. They want pizza night.
Definitely.
Are you all aware of that? All right, you got something excited. So you were showing me pictures. Is this for public consumption? The new Pizza 9 that's going up over by the Sunport?
Yes.
Talk about it, because this is huge.
Yeah, so we have a new location opening up on Tuesday the 14th. It's right over by the airport. It's the Landing with Pizza 9, so it's a bar and grill and Pizza 9.
It's kind of over by my office too. So it's right behind all the hotels. So if you go up Sunport, it's just to the north of the hotels, right on Sunport back. So back in there, all those hotels will have something. Businesses in that area have a place to go. It'll be a big sports bar, pizza place. It looks really cool.
Yeah, it's a really nice place. So check it out next week.
Oh, it's great. All right, so you got special occasions coming up. It's Mother's Day. Pizza. Moms like pizza. I got birthday parties. You got graduation parties. Pizza 9 is it. You got Pizza 9 party packs. It's all online at www.pizzanine.com. They've got the Pizza 9 text club. So you text Pizza 9 to 833-350-0881, and you get all kinds of stuff there. And you can fundraise with Pizza 9. There's talk about the fundraising and what people are doing with that at pizza9.com.
Yeah, so all of our Pizza 9 locations offer fundraising. So you can just go on our website, schedule a fundraiser online, and we'll host a fundraiser for your school, sports team, nonprofit.
I've always wondered, why Pizza 9? Like, why the number 9? What's the 9 mean? I threw a curveball. I didn't mean to. You've been in here, more than 9 times. So I was wondering, honestly, it's like.
Yeah, we were actually talking about that the other day.
Was there an answer?
I am not. It was long before I got there that the name was chosen, so I'm not sure exactly what
all
the
I know
reasoning
is it's
was.
Pizza Fine, and it's really, really, really good. Don't miss out on this. Get on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Do it at 9 o'clock. Click on the Sweet Deal icon, and for $25, you get $50 worth of Pizza 9. Great to see you. Congratulations on your engagement.
Thank you.
When we come back, I'm not going to do anything. But Nick Nee, the director of golf at San Diego Golf Club, is going to be here. He's going to help your golf game. Going to ask him specifically, JJ, about hitting balls in the wind, because I think I got a tee time today, and I need to hit them low and into the wind. We'll talk golf and get you a golf tip with the director of golf out at San Diego Golf Club. Nick Nee's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Pizza Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Murcia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Network.
The sports animal.
Second major of golf season is next week at Valhalla, the PGA Championship. The final tune-up, and you get a good field this week at the Wells Fargo. We're playing at Quail Hollow in Charlotte. You got an Aztec at the top of the leaderboard, JJ. An Aztec, then a Cal Bear. Xander Schauffele shot a 7 under par 64. He leads Colin Morikawa by 3 strokes. Also, 3 strokes back. Some dude named Rory McIlroy. Alex Noren is there as well. Justin Thomas, Jason Day, at -3. So you got a lot of the names are playing this week as they tune up for the PGA Championship. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. A little windy today. Supposed to die down by the afternoon. So if you got a late morning or mid-afternoon tee time, it should be okay today. Let's talk some golf. Get your game better. The director of golf at the beautiful.
Oh, you're trying to talk it into existence.
I absolutely.
You're trying to speak.
Why? What does your app say?
Well, yeah, it's not bad if you're out in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's my point.
11 to 18, and then it's like boom, 38.
At what time?
You'll be off the course by then.
All right. Nick Me, the director of golf at San Diego Golf Club, joins us. How you living? You all right out there? Hey, let me do that again. I hit the button this time. What's up, Nick?
How we doing, gentlemen?
Good. How are you doing out there?
You know what? For those of you that know me, I'm a little short in stature, so I'm good in wind like this. I wear, may need a few rocks, but I'm low to the ground to begin with.
Yeah, it's keep your ball low to the ground. It'll make it a lot better. I'm going to guess is part of today's tip, and if it's not, can I ask for a bonus tip? How to keep the ball low into the wind?
Yeah, we'll go 2 tips. 2 for 1 on this Friday.
Yeah, I don't want to take advantage of you today.
I appreciate that. It's a lot harder, make it sound somewhat easy, but really you just want to be shallow into the golf ball to limit some of the spin. If you get kind of steep into the back of it, you're going to create backspin right out of the gate. We talk a lot about, with our juniors that are playing tournaments in conditions like this, or, when they go to West Texas and play windy golf, trajectory is huge, but really what we look at trajectory is the first 30 yards. Can we control the exit from impact to control the trajectory? Because if you get too steep, if you get too much on top of the golf ball, it's going to lose it in the first 30 yards. You're going to see it balloon right away, and then it's out of your hands and the wind's taking it over. So we want to be shallow into it. We want to be the inside half.
What does that mean, shallow?
We don't want to be steep in a huge divot, and we want to control that first 30 yards of trajectory.
What do you mean by shallow?
Shallow just means, steep, we'll just talk in terms of letters. If you look at the letter V, if you take the top portion, the right side of the V, that would be steep angle, right, where we're very up and down into the back of the ball.
Oh, I got
we want more of a U shape where we're kind of sweeping it off of the turf.
Yep.
That's going to limit some of that backspin initially.
You play further back in your stance too?
You can. I think it's all preference. I think what you want to do is you want to keep that club low through impact. You don't want to have it come high because that high finish is going to be a high spinning shot. So I think ball position is all preference based off the club you hit, in my opinion. So it just depends. I think for the longer irons, you do want it back because you don't want to catch it on that upswing or where we're kind of flipping that club. So wedges and things like that, I don't change primarily in wind. I just try and keep the club low through the exit. But the longer clubs, I do play a little bit back from my standard ball position.
All right, that's a bonus tip for you today because it's blowing a little bit. All right, hey, the PGA's next week, and so we're going to get the Schefflers and the McIlroys and Schauffele's and all that. Your guy Brooks Koepka quietly is playing really well. He won again on Live this week. He's looking to win his 6th major. He plays so well in these tournaments. I mean, is he your favorite going in, even though you don't maybe see him every week?
Absolutely. I think it's hard to bet against him. I think the thing that would scare me if I'm in that field is you get Brooks in good form and you get him with a little bit of revenge and a little bit of he wants to right the wrong from Augusta, right? He wants to show that was just it wasn't Brooks. So that's what I fear is the guy when he's hungry, watch out. And I think he really loves the way PGA of America sets up golf courses. I think it just fits his eye, and he loves a good challenge from what it sounds like. And it'd be hard not to bet against him because he is playing really well, and he loves the PGA of America and how they set up that golf course, as you can see with his past experience.
Yeah, he's Nick Me, the director of golf out at the San Diego Golf Club with us on the Sports Animal.
What is a PGA of America setup?
Yeah, I think theirs is they're going to reward the second shot. They're going to put pins in locations that you can access if you're in the fairway. They're going to try and narrow some of the landing points off the tee. So for those that can hit it further than tour average or hit it, 315 probably out there, they're going to get to the wider part of the fairway. They're going to narrow that area, make it really dense with the rough. And it'll be interesting to see how they set up Valhalla, because they set it up completely different in the Ryder Cup than they did when they were there previously for a major. So I think the biggest thing, again, in major championships is hole locations, where you leave the golf ball. And if you get it in the fairway, and for those guys that can hit it a little bit further than the others, they're going to have better looks and be able to access those pins a lot easier.
You talk about setup. How I don't even know how to quantify it. When you're playing with golf course, like at Sandia, do you guys set up your course differently? You have a tournament. Do you do different things with it? Because you say, I'm playing the golf course. I know the golf course, but you can go out 1 week to the next or 1 year to the next, and it can feel completely different, can't it?
Absolutely. I mean, you can see a change in a matter of a hole or 9 holes, or, we set it up more for just compaction traction. So we're not putting a hole location in the same spot we did maybe 3-4 days ago. Ours is just a rotation. But when we get to like our section professional championship, that is a 36-hole best ball format where 2 pros pair up from our section and play together, they set their own pins. And I think my opinion and how they set it up, they take kind of a 6-6-6 format. They take 6 that are really hard locations that you got to just air 15, 20 feet. And then they take 6 that are just kind of neutral, and 6 that you can get at that are really accessible with maybe wedges in your hand. But the key for us out here, when you get those hole locations, we're a second shot golf course. As for anybody that's played Sandia Golf Club, we have a lot of turf and well-maintained turf with our great superintendent. But you can hit driver everywhere, all over the property, but it's, can you get your second shot on the right level? Because we have 3 different tiers in almost every green, front, middle, or back, and you got to get in that correct section. And if you do so, you're going to have a lot of good looks at birdie, and some of the par 5s that are gettable, you should have, get it on the right level, you're going to have a really good makeable look for eagle. But we're a second shot facility, so leave it in the right spot, you have good looks here at Sandia Golf Club.
Otherwise, you're gonna have long putts and maybe a couple of 3 and maybe a 4 putt because learning the greens, everything goes to the river, all those things. Hey, last before we get into your tip, Nelly Korda is playing this week, and what she's done is insane. She's got a winning streak going. She's shot a 69, and she's trailing Rose Zhang in the first round of the LPGA. But with the emergence of women's sports all across the board. And superstars, talk a little bit about her, and are people talking about her? Do you find people coming into the golf shop and talking about her? Are you seeing more girls, more women play?
Absolutely. I think you also see an opportunity for our female players here that they have something that they can relate to, that now we can kind of speak to them about, and we'll get their thoughts. It creates that buzz. I saw a funny stat the other day that someone was shooting a basketball, and instead of saying Kobe, they said Caitlin Clark. And, I thought to myself, how cool would that be if you got a golfer, a women or female golfer or a junior lady golfer, and they make a putt and they say Nelly, I think it's great for the game. I'm rooting for her. I'm tuning into what happens in the LPGA because I think it's great for golf as the PGA of America is doing everything they can to be inclusive, right? I think this is certainly an effort that can kind of help get some notoriety to some fantastic golf that's being played.
And she's looking to win her 6th straight tournament this weekend. All right, what do you got for a golf tip?
Yeah, I got a good one. We do for short game, it's just rotation. You're going to get a beach towel or your golf towel. It's got to stretch across your chest. You want to have a little bit of cushion there because you don't want to pull your armpits to pinch it too tight. But we're going to stretch that across our chest. We're going to grip the club and have that towel that's underneath our armpits. And again, I do it without a ball first just to get the feel, the sensation, the understanding of why I'm doing it. But what I want to do is really just work on my rotation and feel, again, first lesson we did a lot of core where the club is taken away by our shoulders. This is going to complement it. And as we build this swing up to hip high now, we want to feel rotation, those big muscles. But what you'll see is that butt end of the club is going to match the sternum of your chest. And as we do that, we can rotate. And you're going to be a lot more consistent in impact, but you're also going to get the body to rotate to square the club up instead of manipulate it with the hand. A secondary enhancement to this is for those of you that have the chicken wing on your lead arm through exit, the Jordan Spieth where he's kind of pulling it out. What this is also going to do is you're going to feel how that exit, how that body rotates through impact to get you to finish at least at hip high and not chicken wing it anymore. So you're going to end up hitting more flush shots a little bit better. Again, I do it with just a tee in the ground and just feeling rotation as the club sweeps the turf. It is a little bit kind of parlaying into being shallow. It's going to help you get more of that sweeping action instead of that digging approach to the ball. But put that towel across your chest, work on that rotation. You'll feel how that body now can square the club up and properly rotate using the big muscle of the chest. And we're just doing it hip high to hip high. So do that better, consistent contact, but also really good rotation through the lower half of the swing.
So hip high to hip high with that towel staying secure across your chest underneath your armpits.
Absolutely. And when you get comfortable with it and you feel like you can add a little bit of speed, allow yourself to progress as you see fit, and then start hitting some chip shots onto a chipping green, or just if you're at the range, start hitting them 15, 20, 25, 30 yards, and incorporate some of that with the golf ball. But first, just do it just to feel how that club is going to actually match in connection with our upper body rotating.
All right. Let people know about what's going on out there. SanDiegoGolf.com's got it all.
Yeah, again, another reminder, Ernie's done a tremendous job with food and beverage, the patio, as long as we can get some of this wind out of here, maybe some rain. It's beautiful. It's the best view in New Mexico, I'll say, and certainly in Albuquerque, it's the best patio. He's done a great job on a specialty cocktail menu paired with menu options. Come check it out in our grill. It mirrors the look of our yardage book. It's pretty cool in how he did it. We got a signature dessert in the grill as well for you to try, a great brownie with some ice cream if you're a little sweet tooth. Again, Twilight Race start at 3 o'clock. Our Cubs class will start May 19th. You can start calling May 15th. I would call as early as you can. We get here at 5:30. It fills up quick. Great introductory class for beginner golfers and an opportunity for you to come enjoy our patio as well. But we look forward to seeing everyone at San Diego Golf Club real soon.
Enjoy the weekend. Next week, we will be talking about the second round of the PGA Championship. We talk with you. Enjoy the weekend.
You as well. Appreciate the time.
He is Nick Nee, the director of golf at the San Diego Golf Club, and as good of an instructor as there is in town. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Everguard Roofing and Solar. For nearly 20 years, Everguard Roofing and Solar has been working with New Mexicans to enhance their homes and businesses. For all your roofing and solar needs in New Mexico, call 505-821-9543. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
kind of looking forward to the major next week. Brooks Koepka has something to prove, I think. WNBA is expanding to Toronto. So Golden State and Toronto got to. We were talking about here, you know, what would this town, I think, handle really well. I thought the WNBA. I don't know what the buy-in for the WNBA is, but Golden State and Toronto getting WNBA franchises. Interesting to see. Honestly, JJ, the growth and the sustainability moving forward this year. Caitlin Clark's preseason debut, north of 13,000 people. And she'll go to Vegas and they'll sell out. And she'll go to LA and they'll sell out. And everywhere she's killing it. Angel Reese, I saw, has a Beats endorsement. And so she gifted everyone on her team, her new WNBA team. I don't know which one it is. A new set of Beats. I thought that was cool. Good way to ingratiate yourself with your new teammates. Hey, rookie, you're making a lot of money. But I think, how do you think it's received in the locker rooms with the veterans? Ladies that have been there 2, 3, 6 years. And here comes this crop of really highly touted rookies that are not necessarily making more money per salary, but getting all this money in endorsements. Do you think there's an animosity? Or
Absolutely.
Do you think
You've already saw it with Diana Taurasi.
What'd she say?
And what she's been saying of, it's going to be a reality check when these players come to the league.
Okay.
And I think with any veteran, there's a frustration, but I do think they need to look at Dawn Staley and the head coach of South Carolina, who's done as much as anyone when it comes to women's basketball. We're talking the Olympic medalist, straight baller on the court. It is saying that these players are uplifting the game. Anytime you go into a professional locker room, you're still going to have those moments of like, hey, rookie, welcome in. But it is different in basketball when you have a player that can come in and be so high profile early. But there's the understanding that this is rising the tide for everyone.
In the long run, I just wonder if they think maybe their time will pass when they were a few years too. When we come back, did this franchise really flip a coin to decide who to pick in the first round of the NFL draft? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Cross-Camara here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Brought to you by Capital Ford on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
All right, we're going to kick it with Kenny, former Lobo great, coach of the TBT's Enchantment. Oh, you put that thing together, too.
Oh, yeah.
But we got a lot to talk about with Kenny Thomas today. I want to do this one story real quick. There's a story out there. Do you believe that the Raiders decided to pick Brock Bowers with the 12th overall pick by flipping a coin? There's a guy.
Yes, I actually do, to be honest.
Do you really?
Yeah.
There's a guy named Terrion Arnold. He was he is a cornerback, defensive back. Was at Alabama. Evidently, he claims that the Raiders were going to pick him there, and the coaching staff called him and said, "Man, we almost picked you, but we flipped a coin, and we took the other guy instead."
Wow.
And Antonio Pierce said flat out, no call, no coin flip. The general manager, Tom Telesco, said, typically I use a magic 8-ball, not a coin.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's 2024, man. You never know what's going to be said nowadays.
I mean, that's great science.
Yeah, it's interesting, but hey, flip a coin.
Yeah, I don't know. It's science. Hey, what's up, man? You good?
Man, I'm great. Life's good.
How was breakfast over at Barrella's?
It was amazing.
Was it?
Yeah, got to give a shout out to Barella's Coffee House. Been great
you never
supporters.
Bring a plate or anything, but that's all right. I just hear about it.
I could bring you some
No,
chicharrones,
I'm
bro.
good. I don't like chicharrones.
Okay,
It's like the one New Mexican thing that everybody tells me how great it is, that it's really not.
What do you like?
Everything, almost everything else.
Okay, what about? Hey, I have the bacon and 2 eggs.
Yeah, I like
Christmas
that.
with a little bit of sprinkle of
JJ,
some
what do
cheese.
you want? You want your next Friday's order from Barrella's?
Oh, I'll take anything.
I won't be here next week. I'm going to Atlanta.
You won't be here?
Yeah, I got to go to Atlanta, the Boys and Girls Club.
Hey, no kicking it with Kenny next Friday, by the way.
No, I'm calling in.
Oh, okay.
If the phone lines are working.
That's good. Don't use the hotline, use the regular line. Hey, the Enchantment is coming together, so I saw this week. I was really excited that this was cool. And Craig Snow's coming back to work with you. And maybe
I love working with Craig.
More so, he hits a golf.
Yeah, we haven't golfed yet.
Oh, he hits the golf.
Yeah, we haven't golfed yet.
Big, long dude, hits it a ton, straight. He's a good golfer.
And looks like we're going to Houston. It's going to be hot.
Is that where you're going?
In July. I don't
It'll
see that
it'll
happening.
be
I think it's Houston.
Don't be so soft. You can play and play golf.
Houston or Wichita.
It's going to be human.
But we talked about playing golf last year.
And you didn't.
Craig, yeah, we did not.
I think I invited you out at tea time. No, we got to practice. We got to watch film.
No, you need to start asking me more. It's always just crappy timing.
I know. All right, so you're putting this team together. I was really excited. So I saw where Anthony Mathis is coming back, Scott Bamford. I saw Bryce Alford. And I thought that was really good, man. And Bryce is one of the great shooters to come out of here. I don't know if he's still the leading scorer in the history of New Mexico high school basketball, but one of the great high school basketball players that ever came out of here. Leaves UCLA as the second leading scorer in the history of that program. Has had a nice pro career overseas. I was pretty excited to see Bryce.
That's crazy. You just skipped over to New Mexico, even though he wasn't, because he was supposed to come here, right?
But he didn't play here.
But he didn't play here, so you just skipped over that.
Well, because there's nothing to talk about. He committed, and his dad went to UCLA, and he went with his dad. There's no career.
I'm trying to stir up some crap, but Bryce, great addition. Scotty, Mathis, it's going to be, I mean, we even got JR. B Mace, he reached out and texted me and Craig about maybe we might even get Tony Snell.
Really?
Yeah, we went to the Sweet 16 last year. Every year has gotten better. That's 3 years, and we're coming up on 4 now. The way that we are gelling together, I think it's going to open up a lot more for Scott. Not having him being able to do more, I mean, as much, especially bringing the ball up in different situations like that. I feel like with the offense that I've been kind of running the last couple of years, I feel like anybody can bring that ball up and just play.
What's it like trying to get all these guys on the same page and getting them to commit to something where, yeah, there's a big prize at the end, but
in a short period of time?
Yeah, B Mace has done a tremendous job.
That'd be Brandon Mason. For
Yeah,
those of you.
yeah. With getting this started from day one, there's some great supporters out there. Kurt Roth, the 505 Sports Ventures Foundation has been huge. He's been a great supporter, and then there's been some other organizations around town that B Mace has connected with and been great supporters. But the fact that it was here in Albuquerque the year before last was great. We tried to get it back here, B Mace did, but yeah, it didn't happen. So
the pit can't have NCAA tournaments, so we can't have the TBT anymore. Is that what it?
I have no clue why. I just know that we can't. And he tried to bring it back.
Too.
Yeah, I thought it was great, especially for in the summer.
Yeah.
Some summer basketball, but yeah.
Kenny Thomas is the coach of the Enchantment. Do you enjoy it? You have fun coaching?
It's been fun. It's been a learning process. Having somebody like Craig Snow,
who coaches, he's the lead assistant at Evansville.
Exactly, and the fact that he's been doing it a lot longer than me. I coached at a junior college in Sacramento for a couple of years, but the original situation was B Mace was trying to get Michael Cooper, and then I was going to back up Michael, right? But that didn't end up happening.
How's it feel to be the second pick? Like, you're okay with that?
It didn't care. I was like, B Mace, I don't care. I really don't care. The fact that I'm able to get exposure on ESPN, it's a great opportunity, and it's humbling. And I think over the years, we've had some pieces that have gelled good, but I feel like this squad this year, I think B Mace is even trying to get Alex Kurt.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, what are you doing for bigs?
We have a 6'10", 6'11" guy. That's he can go. I've seen some video on him, and then we have some other guys at the 3 or 4 that about 6'8", and then we got JR coming back. JR Giddens coming back, so he didn't play last year, but I love the squad and the pieces that we have. We even have the one guy that just retired. Not retired. He was at UNM, but he's a senior. I forgot his name.
That just left?
That just left. He's not playing anymore. Not left, but he was a senior, so he's done. I forgot his name.
Who just ran out of eligibility?
I forgot his name. He didn't play that much this year.
Mushila?
Say that again?
Isaac Mushila?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, he's playing with us.
That's good.
Yeah.
Speaking of bigs at UNM, what do you think? So Atiki, I don't know if it's Eli or Ali Atiki, but they get a 6'10" transfer from BYU. They get a 6'9" transfer from Arizona in Philippe Borovichinen. They get a 6'10" freshman coming in, a 6'8" freshman that committed the other day. Louisville's got some bigs. We'll see, how beefy they are. JJ said, I want to see him in the weight room, right?
How beefy, yeah.
Right, because the big wasn't the issue against Clemson. It was thickness and toughness. And then, putting together what they've got in the backcourt. I asked JJ, what do you want to do with that one last scholarship? I think I kind of like to see a shooter, like a sniper. Go find a sniper.
I say if you can, a sniper, or even a guy that can play defense at the
Just
three,
a lockdown 3-4,
3-4.
2-3-4.
Yeah, like one of those to where, or maybe an in between.
Find me a Lou Dort, JJ.
Who's that?
The guy from the Oklahoma City Thunder who's chasing down Luka Doncic, who was in foul
Oh yeah,
trouble
that
last
is
night.
right. Yeah.
That's right. Find me one.
That's
Find me a
expected.
Michael Cooper.
Oh God, find you a Kenny Thomas.
Yeah, but, I mean, you were guarding the twos. As
I was
good as
guarding
you
the threes
were.
and fours.
I said twos. I backed off the threes because I knew what you were going to tell me. But you were chasing the twos.
No,
right?
I was not.
I know
no,
you
I was
were.
not.
Yeah, I was there.
I feel like it's going to be interesting to see those bigs if they can spread the floor, because the game has changed. The Thomas kid that's coming in 6'8", 210. I want to see these guys get thicker and bigger, to where they're not being pushed around as much, right? I came in with a lot more body fat and this and that, but I was not skinny, right? So I think that helped me in the long run.
You were not skinny.
See, but I was quick off my feet too, so that's the crazy part of it. But it's nice to be able to have or see a bright future to a certain extent as far as the Lobos losing JT and what's coming.
Yeah, I think what Rich Pitino is doing is what you have to be in this day and age. You have to be able to navigate, get some freshmen in, which they could earn the opportunities, be big in the transfer portal, retain enough pieces, and being able to have Donovan Dent as the core of this. Nelly Jr. Joseph coming back gets everyone excited.
Yeah, it's Nelly coming back. It's going to be interesting to see with these bigs coming in, how that's going to go down. I see a lot of fighting at the 4 and the 5 position, just depending on how that's going to flow. But the fact that Dent decided to stay, he's one of those guys that could have eloped and dipped out. But I love the loyalty there. You gotta, and you still got some guys on that bench that can go at the 2-3. But I really want to see a person come in that could really lock up.
Oh, you want to talk NBA when we get back?
Oh yeah, we can talk whatever you want. Man.
Road teams win last night. Some road teams winning. Yeah. We got some series. We got the Nuggets on the ropes.
Unbelievable.
I don't know if you heard of Anthony Edwards.
The Ant-Man.
He's really good. So we'll do that when we get back. Kenny Thomas is here. It is Kicking It with Kenny on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Zone.
Get ready to step into the ring of excitement with Going Over, the ultimate.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the Frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Kenny Thomas is here. We're kicking it with Kenny, the former Lobo great, 11 years in the NBA.
I like the way you say that. You had a lot of bass in your voice.
You want to hoe with us? Like, you ever want to hoe? You know, we hoe on Friday.
We hoe? What does that mean?
What do you think? What does it mean? What does it mean to hoe?
We're live right now. You don't want. That's too open.
We hoe every Friday.
Okay, let's hoe then.
I mean, you want to hoe?
Okay.
We can't do it now. We're going to hoe coming back from the next break.
We got to talk about the Nuggets. You don't want to talk about that.
Well, all right, let's talk about the Suns first. They fire Frank Vogel, who's going to walk away owed $20 million. I've been fired before, by the way. I didn't get $20 million to walk away. I've said it before, and I know somebody's got to take the hit, but this owner said, look, I'm not breaking up this roster.
Yeah.
Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant. I got $200 million invested in those guys. So he's bringing in Mike Budenholzer. I think Mike Budenholzer is a really good coach.
Yeah.
And you know him better than I got a good buddy who
Yeah.
played for him in college at Pomona Pitzer when Pop was there. But your thoughts, is this the way it is? Somebody's got to take the hit and it's got to be the coach? Because it wasn't his fault.
No, it's Budenholzer. Yeah, like you said, he was under Popovich. And I don't know if I've said this before, but my last, 6-7 years out of my career, I used to go down in San Antonio and train with the Spurs, and they gave me their facility 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whenever I wanted to. So I was able to get to know those guys a lot because I would go down there for 2 months, month and a half before the season starts and just focus on that with my trainer. But you got to keep in mind, Budenholzer, when he was at Milwaukee, there was something there that happened because he had just won a title and had a great season the next year or something like that.
Was
and
it with
then he got
Giannis,
canned.
JJ? Did he have a problem with Giannis?
A little bit.
Okay.
Oh, there was? Yeah, I don't remember that. But then next thing you know, he's fired. And then they bring in
Adrian Griffin.
Yes. And then he was playing great. Next thing you know, he's fired. And then they bring in Doc, and it's all rocky, right? But the way that the Suns are coming out and identified themselves, I thought that they would have been better because they had that big three over there. But Bill was hurt the majority of the season. KD, it seemed like he didn't want to be there. It was like non-existent. And I felt like when it came down to it,
not okay.
no, it's not. But then you have Booker, who's the man there, and then you got to try and figure out how do you fit in KD. But
Who's going to play defense on that team?
Nobody.
Who's going to be the point guard on that team?
Nobody. I think that was
So
Bill.
why is that Frank Vogel's fault?
It's not, but you got to blame somebody. I mean, you got those 3 top guys. Are you going to blame them? You can, but it's really going to go towards the coach. That's an easy scapegoat. Always has been.
Or you just bring your coach back for a second season and try to develop something. There's always that route too.
You mean like the Nuggets did? And they stayed with their guy when they weren't winning, and then they won a championship.
That's 6 coaches in 6 seasons for Kevin Durant.
Oh,
Maybe
wow.
he should look in the mirror.
All right, so
he has a point.
Play on that, because JJ and I had this conversation, and I said, I think coaches turn really quickly in the NBA, and he said, well, not necessarily. And you've got coaches 3 to 4 years in a lot of spots that are playing well now.
Yeah.
You've got guys like Pop, Kerr, Spoelstra, who've been around for a long time. And then you got franchises that turn around. LeBron's had 6 in 10 years, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Durant's had 6 in 6 years. Giannis has had 3 in a calendar year.
Yeah.
How much does that stick to a player?
It sticks. The fact that JJ brought that up, I didn't even know that when it came to
it's a great point.
That's a great point, because look at how he was with the Warriors, but he was the go-to guy first. Steph was going to get his regardless, but then you have Booker. It's Booker's team.
Look,
you see what I'm saying?
Kevin Durant's great. All right. And top 15 probably in the history of the game. JJ, he won championships in a perfect setting, right? Golden State was the perfect setting. They had stability from the front office down to the 12th man on the bench. Is Kevin Durant just good enough to get you fired?
That's a good question. I expected more from KD, to be honest, because I expected him to show up and show out. That's why I picked the Suns to win that series.
Well did.
And it didn't go that way. But being an owner of the Suns and it's fresh and it's new, obviously you got to go to the coach. Look at Darvin Ham. The Lakers could not get past the Nuggets.
Who's right for them?
Oh, man, it's all over the place
Budenholzer
right
felt
now.
right for them, by the way.
Yeah.
But not really.
He's going to go anywhere and change the program around.
Is it going to be J.J. Redick?
Oh, see, they're talking about J.J. Redick
Because
is
him and LeBron are
interviewing
tied.
somewhere else, right?
Yeah, it was Charlotte, but Charlotte hired.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, this
That was the league
this is
guy
where I
that just
step
got
out of the way and let Kenny Thomas and J.J. Buck talk about the Nuggets. And the Maverick. The Nuggets and the Wolves.
Why you got to step away?
Bitter. I've been talking about Anthony Edwards for how long?
Yeah, even in the first series you did.
I think it's frustrating if you're Denver that you're getting punked that bad. You're getting pushed around, and you can't just blame it all on Jamal Murray's calf. Like, at some point in time, you got to show up. If you get beat, it's one thing. But when you get beat at home by 30 points, like the Celtics last night, that's a different feeling.
You know, sometimes, this is crazy, right? But it happened. Sometimes you just get blown out. And it just comes at this is the wrong time for something like that to happen. These are the defending champs. And Joker just got MVP. And Murray was actually back healthy for a while. But he's always, to a certain extent, the last few years, he's been hurt. And then I think at one point, he's been out for a whole year. When do you get Porter Jr. and Gordon to step up and do more? I hate to say it, but they have to.
They were good in the first round, both those guys.
Yeah, but it's a different style. Like, Minnesota plays defense unlike anyone else in the NBA. They pick you at full court. That's frustrating for a player. Jamal Murray wants none of that. He does not want to be pushed around. He does not want to be touched. And it's one thing. It's to Kenny's point. Like, I'm a Nuggets fan, but I'm not sitting here like, oh my gosh, you need to fire everyone. This sucks. Like, they're getting beat by a better team right now. They didn't do anything wrong. They won a championship last year. They brought back that entire starting 5. They leaned into younger players on the bench just due to salary things. They won 57 games. And they're getting outplayed by a better team right now.
They're getting outsmarted. You got to think about Gobert in the paint, huge presence, and then you got Anthony Towns.
He wasn't even there. He wasn't there in game 2.
That I forgot about that. But still, in game 1, it was a huge presence. Think about him coming back and being at home. How Minnesota's going to be coming off of this high of beating the champs and their home spot by 35 points, and then you're coming back to Minnesota. If the Denver Nuggets do not win this next game, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
It was a wrap game too.
Yeah, it's a wrap. If they don't win game 2, it's a wrap.
JJ says it's over. I thought game 2 was a kind of got to win game. He said it was a must win.
I don't see it. This next game is a must win.
Well, yeah,
obviously,
100%,
right? But if I feel like if they could get this one, could they slide in there and make it a 7-game series? Yes.
If they get one, we're sitting here tomorrow morning, and it's interesting. It's interesting depending on how they look. Hey, what is the during your NBA career? Is there a moment that you look back on and you're like, oh man, I'm glad that wasn't on video, or I wish it wasn't on video? Is there something? Was there a moment you had where you're like, what did I just do?
Oh my God, yes. Steve Francis. We came in as rookies in '99, right? Steve Francis played for the University.
Hesitate.
Oh God, right away. Steve Francis played for the Maryland, University of Maryland.
Yeah. He played for Lefty Drizel. He played for Lefty Drizel, didn't he?
Oh, I don't even know. Him and Elton Brand were the number 1-2 pick in '99 draft, right? So we're in Miami, I think, right? And Steve Francis on the baseline, and I'm in the middle of the paint. And I think it's my first or second year, because my first year I only played like 45 games. My second year I started being a starter. So he pushed me into it, and I'm like, I'm a dummy. And it's Alonzo Mourning coming at me like 2 steps. And I'm like, wow, okay. But let's flip it. The rafters, if you go to YouTube TV, there's a video of my Sixers number 9. You go to that on YouTube. First play of the game, Antonio Davis. Me driving to the middle, and I put him in the basket, and he fell. So, man, I've been dunked on. I've dunked on people. But the fact that I was able to, like, be on that platform and do what I did for 11 years, are you kidding me?
I was thinking more of a knucklehead move. Like I think of what Jamal Murray did the other day, throwing the towel on the heating pad on the floor. I think of Patrick Beverley, who just got suspended for 4 games for throwing a ball twice at a fan in the stands. You ever do anything kind of along those lines?
No.
You wanted to?
I got ejected because I got 2 technical fouls because I was cussing out the ref because Karl Malone was getting fouls.
What did the ref tell you? He's Karl Malone.
I cussed out the ref. He called 2 fouls.
Yeah, what did he tell you?
So I got 2 techs. You get 2 techs, it's automatically ejection.
I know. What did he tell you? When you were going, did he tell you that's Karl Malone? He gets all the calls?
No.
He didn't?
But there was a situation to where no. But there was a situation when I was in Houston, I think it was my second year. Shaq's on the free throw line, and the ref called the 3rd foul on Shaq or something. And Shaq was like, hey, man, they came here to see me. What are you doing calling that foul on me? You're supposed to know better than that. And I'm like, wow, did he really just talk to him like that? But, hey.
Would he end up with 3 fouls during the game?
Yeah. And he still took his blood to the game.
They won another one.
Yeah.
Well, we know the NBA is rigged anyway. So.
It is. There's favorites,
it is,
bro.
he says.
There's favorites for real. There really is. Because it's a matter of respect. And the years you put in, I had to earn that respect.
What about what Rick Carlisle, the Indiana Pacers coach, said after getting beat the other night? Look, they didn't lose. Preface, and JJ's been saying this, and JJ, you're right. Indiana didn't lose to the Knicks because of the refs, but they turned in 79 clips of calls over 2 games that they felt were wrong.
Yeah.
The call the other night, the offensive foul call, I thought was bogus.
Yeah.
And then before that, they called a kickball that wasn't there. And then the next night, they call a double dribble on Hartenstein, and then which wasn't a double dribble.
Yeah.
They got the call right, which is good. But Carlisle loses his mind. How do you reverse that one? But the other night, you say you can't reverse it. And then he goes out and says, the small market team deserves as much a chance to win as the big.
Oh, man.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong, but the Pacers are playing good ball. But you can't it's one of those things, you can't get caught up in, like, those calls to a certain extent, because we didn't even have replay, right? Back in the day when I played. So that didn't even exist.
Did you guys have water buckets and color TV?
With the antenna to where we had to put a hanger in for the antenna. You trying to go that route?
Hey, kid, go change the channel.
You got to get up and turn the knob. What a jerk, you guys.
That was with me. I was the remote.
Hey, I was trying to include myself because I came into that era.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. But you got to keep in mind, man. Hey, there's a lot of favorites, and there's situations to where what other plays happened during that game that could have prevented them coming down to the wire, right?
Yeah.
So, come on, man. The Pacers, we'll see, but the Knicks are playing great ball being 2-0.
JJ, any other big story you want to hit Kenny with in the NBA?
Any other big story in the NBA?
I mean, we hit the suspensions and the Carlisle and the.
Hey, I told you guys that Murray with the Nuggets was not going to get suspended. He was only going to get fined.
You did. $100,000 for a guy who makes $33.1 million or whatever.
A lot more.
Now he only makes $33 million.
Come on, man. How did the Cavs just pull off this win in Boston? Nobody expected that.
I didn't expect him to blow him out like that.
No.
I mean, it's not surprising they won a game. They won by 24 last night.
That might go.
JJ's point, though, tell him your point on the Celtics. I mean, right?
When we were talking before this series, we knew a game they were going to got is they just go absolutely cold from three. So
Yeah.
the one thing I have with Boston, and we were going back and forth on this, like that's their identity. You win 64 games. You're in the second round of the postseason after getting through Miami. You're going to want to try to shoot through your slump. But do they have enough to adjust in a game like that? Can they flip the script? Or threes aren't there. Maybe let's focus on defense. Maybe let's play differently. Or are they just going to go down with the ship that way?
I agree with you. When it comes to Boston, if they're rolling, right? If they're not, it could be a totally different situation because I don't see them locked in as much on the offensive end because it comes too easy. I don't see them locked in on the defensive end, because it comes too easy for them on the offensive side. They got a lot of weapons on the offensive side, but it's one of those things, they're a team that's supposed to get to the finals. But if the Cavs can slip in there and get 2 of these games in Cleveland, then it's a whole
They get
nother
2
game.
there. We're going, what do you do with Porzingis? Do you bring him back? I was asking JJ this.
He's always hurt.
All right, but he's hurt now. He's got the calf issue. Do you rush him back if you lose another game?
Yes, he has to come back. The sooner the better. Because
Yeah, but if
this
he's
is
not, if he's going to hurt it more, I mean, it's you know those calves, right?
It's
calves
a
and
calf,
hamstring.
groin, hamstrings. Yeah,
They linger, man.
Yeah.
All right. Have a weekend. Where's your wine? Where are you going to be?
This weekend there's a United game tomorrow.
Yeah.
I actually
Is that a wine crowd?
No. Okay. No, come on, man.
No,
it's United.
All right, but you'll be there.
Yeah, I'll
All
be
right.
there. I have an event with United Healthcare at
Ooh,
Highland
totally
High School
different
today.
United thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. Man.
All right. Have a weekend. We'll see you
Man,
Tuesday.
I
Are you
appreciate
here
you guys.
Tuesday?
Yeah. Yes.
Just let me know.
Yes.
You
I
know,
don't leave till Wednesday. I'll be here Tuesday.
Enjoy the weekend.
All right, man.
Kicking it with
Appreciate you
Kenny.
guys.
That's Kenny Thomas, former Lobo great. 11 years in the NBA, entrepreneur and businessman, and he is everywhere. Oh, and by the way, head coach of The Enchantment. It's the opening drive. Jeff and JJ will be back on 95.9 FM and AM 610. Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
A burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
Oh, now I gotta fix this. There, fixed. Sorry about that, dude. It's next door seeing the guest. But I got Double Dutch bust up. Kenny's like, what is this whole thing? I'm like, have you never listened to our show? And he's like, I remember that song. Yeah, all right. He says, be careful. I don't want to get fired. I'm like, no, nobody was. Text line, if the Celtics played as hard as the New York Knicks, they would win a championship, but they don't. They can't even close off the Cavaliers. That's interesting. Do you think the Celtics lost last night because they don't play as hard as the New York Knicks?
Yes.
Okay.
I think there's an element to that.
I agree.
The Knicks play hard because they're not as talented as the Celtics. The Celtics can get by because of their talent level.
So there's a narrative, and there's part of me that buys into it and part of me that just absolutely does not. That the Knicks are the most likable team in the playoffs. There's so much to like about them. And when you say, look, man, the Jalen Brunson story is great. DiVincenzo's hard not to like. Josh Hart's impossible not to like. You go through it, and there's a big part of me that goes, yeah, no, that's right. But then there's their fans.
Yes, the team, the players, the way they're playing, very likable from a basketball watching perspective.
And then there's Knicks fan who thinks that all of a sudden basketball's back for the first time.
The ridiculous narrative that sports are never good unless the team from New York, LA is winning.
Right. There's part of me that wants to see like Oklahoma City, Indiana, like the smallest markets they can get, and have a great series, a legendary series, and let this thing just be great. Because just to beat that narrative, because I mean the talking heads, and it's not.
Dude, it's never going away.
I know it's not, but it's not just ESPN, dude. It's every network. I mean, if you listen to CBS Sports, listen to our network.
Yeah, the Infinity Sports Network.
The Infinity, is that what we are now?
Yes.
When did that happen?
Like 2 weeks ago.
Was there a memo on that I missed?
No.
Okay. All right. It's not CBS Sports Network anymore? It's Infinity? Did they get bought or what? All right.
No one really cares.
I mean, okay, but the network, right? Our network shows. I mean, it's this East Coast, New York. Everything's great when New York's good. The Knicks, the Garden's the greatest place. I mean, the Garden's real. It is. But man, and they are a likable team. But you know what? Minnesota's really likable. Really likable. There's a lot to just look at them and just go, man, there's some great stories. Karl Anthony Towns, and right, he lost a parent during COVID, remember, and where he's been, and you look at Anthony Edwards and his story. Gobert's an interesting cat. You may not like him very much, but he's interesting. Mike Conley. I mean, there's so much to like about them. Oklahoma City's likable. Don't you think? I mean, all the new, everything about them, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, even though you don't know about him. So but that's the narrative. Oh, well, I mean, they're so likable. And yeah, they are, but are they? I mean, honestly, are they? All right. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Kenny was in good place today. It was fun. You excited about the enchantment? Getting all these guys. It's fun when all these guys come back together. You talked maybe Alex Kirk. I'm really excited to see Bryce Alford. Kenny and Craig Snow seem like they work together really good as a coaching staff.
Yeah, it's a fun dynamic because you have extreme competitors that come together in such a short amount of time, playing for a big prize. You're trying to get $1 million for your squad at the end. The investment you put in is to get that because you're not getting paid to be there. You're not getting paid to.
So they get nothing.
Get to the Sweet 16.
They don't. Their expenses aren't paid. Nothing.
Well, I'm sure your expenses are paid, but that doesn't pay you your bills.
No. But somebody's giving these guys something for their time. Right? Sponsors, maybe. I'm sure.
When you're taking a van back from Wichita.
Yeah, I imagine. What he talked about Tony Snell. Does that excite you? Kind of does, right?
Love to see Tony Snell.
Just short of 10 years in the NBA, like seconds short of 10 years in the NBA. By the way, did you see Big Baby got jail time? Remember Big Baby Davis of the Boston Celtics? He got jail time. So I got to find the story because I don't know exactly what it is. And I guess he's not the only one, but he was sentenced to 40 months in prison for insurance fraud on the NBA's healthcare system. He was found guilty of healthcare fraud, wire fraud, conspiracy to make false statements, and conspiracy to commit healthcare fraud. The convictions carried a maximum of 20 years. He got 40 months. He'll be subjected to supervised release and blah, blah, blah. But there are more than 20 people who have been charged and sentenced for their roles in this scheme that involved filing inaccurate medical claims with the NBA players' health and benefit welfare plan. It's insane. And I really, he also has to pay back $2.5 million and a fine of $650,000, so he's out over $3 million, and he's got to do 40 months in prison. Did you see that story? I see your face. You're like going, "What the hell?" It's kind of insane, and his reaction was like, "Yeah, whatever." It's I can't even get into it because I like my job. But it said he filed for $27,000 in claims for a dental procedure in Beverly Hills that never happened. So for $27,000 that you filed for, you're going to clink for 40 months and you got to pay back $700,000. I mean, it just 22 individuals, 18 of whom are former NBA players, have been convicted for submitting fraudulent medical claims to the NBA players' health and benefit welfare system, the plan. Davis will have 3 years of supervised release. He'll have to pay $80,000 back in restitution. He said, "I'm going to be swole, though. I'm about to get in so much shape. That's the only way you can stop me from eating hamburgers is putting me in jail." He's basically looking at it as a weight loss plan. I mean, I guess that's how you have to look at it. You got to find what's the bright spot of going in prison for 40 months?
Not many.
I'm going to go on a diet and get swole. I mean, it's. I heard this one yesterday. I'm like, damn, Big Baby. And by the way, he's a big dude, but wasn't that the guy who cried on the bench when Kevin Garnett kind of said something to him and hurt his feelings? Good luck to you, fella. I wish you the best. It's the opening drive. Everything you got to know as you go into your weekend next on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
This Boomer Esiason with Sports Minute.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burkia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet.
Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. You got Mother's Day taken care of yet?
Yes.
Austin goes shopping for Mama. Did you make her a card?
So we were at the store the other day, and I didn't say anything. And he's like, "Dad, we need to get Mom flowers to make her happy."
Okay.
And I was like, "Yes, we do, son." So he had it covered. He was on it before I was.
Attaboy. That's good. So I got Mother's Day. My daughter turns 18 on Sunday. On Mother's Day.
That's crazy.
Kind of crazy. I know, isn't it? So I was out. We're doing a little party for Saturday night, and we got senior day for lacrosse tomorrow, and so I was out, and I got maize and blue. I found like plates in Michigan colors. But this is kind of cool, JJ. I was checking out it with plates, the party stuff. The gentleman next to me just said, "Hey, I really like your radio show. Listen all the time." I'm like, "Oh, thank you. What's your name?" And we talked, and he said, "We met, a long time ago. My daughter played golf with your daughter." He says, "Addie, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And so it was really cool. So every once in a while, it's good to know that there's people out there that someone's listening. They like what we're doing. But I thought that was cool. But yeah, we're setting up. Isn't it 18, dude? That's like a reality check right here. And graduate in 2 weeks, and then it's kind of crazy. All right, here's what people are going to be talking about as you go through your day and into the weekend. Cavaliers beat the Celtics last night, 118-94. Donovan Mitchell led the way for the visitors We're going to head back to Ohio, 1 game apiece in that series. Mavericks beat the Thunder last night, 119-110 in Oklahoma City. That series also tied 1 apiece. They'll go back to Texas for game 2. You get the other 2 series tonight. The first game will be the Pacers and Knicks. That'll be in Indiana. And then back up in Minneapolis, the Nuggets trying to get back into this series. They will play the Timberwolves tonight. Suns have fired Frank Vogel. It sounds like Mike Budenholzer is the guy they want. Vogel gets fired after 1 year. He will walk away owed $20 million per his contract with the Phoenix Suns. The new coach will be the 6th coach in 6 seasons for whom Kevin Durant plays, which is crazy. Lobo signed a big guy, Eli Atiki, 6'10", transfer from BYU. So they've signed 2 big guys in the last couple of days. And the hockey last night, Rangers beat the Carolina Panthers in overtime 3-2. Stars even their series with the Avalanche. 5-3 was the score last night. The series is tied 1 game apiece. And Caitlin Clark scored 12 points in her WNBA preseason debut. 13,000 people came out and packed that gym to watch her play in the WNBA. Miss anything big as far as going into the weekend? United will play tomorrow. They get back into into league play, USL Championship play. Oakland Roots will be the opponent out at the ball pitch tomorrow, coming off the big Open Cup victory over Real Salt Lake on Wednesday. Duke City Gladiators are back at it tomorrow. And again, they got a great special going on. You want to go see them play San Antonio, 6 o'clock tomorrow. All moms get in free. Teachers get in free. Free tank tops for the first 50 moms. They have $3 nachos, $4 margaritas, $20 ponytail hats. And it's a good time out there if you want to go out and spend Saturday night watching some good indoor football. You can see the new quarterback, Joe Mancuso, and the Duke City Gladiators tomorrow out in Rio Rancho. Those are fun. I know you've been out to a few. Austin seems to like those, huh?
Those are great. It's fast, a lot going on. You can get right up close to the action. Kids absolutely enjoy it. We always have a fun time going out there.
Yeah. All right. I haven't told you about IPS yet today because I really believe in what they do, but they're doing amazing things. They heard you when you asked for their help protecting businesses and homes in Santa Fe. You got lots of calls coming in for service up there. So if you live in the Santa Fe area, you're concerned about threats to your property, you can call IPS. In Albuquerque, police response still hours, especially for home business break-ins. Most cases, IPS is there within 7 minutes or less. They'll install alarms for you, camera systems. They monitor those cameras 24/7. It just raises the level of security around your home and business. And I know you've noticed there are officers all around town at retail outlets, Targets, Walmarts. It makes a huge difference for them. It's made a huge difference for me and my family, my neighbors. We all use IPS. They come by every day. Look, your home is supposed to be that place of security. And if someone breaks in, it is devastating for that sense of security. And you don't know what's going to happen. Let IPS keep eyes on your home, eyes on your business around the clock. The number is 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com, making Albuquerque and Santa Fe a better and a safer place to live and work. Biggest thing you're looking forward to this weekend? Is it seeing what happens tonight, or are you kind of relegated to the Nuggets get beat tonight and this thing's done?
I'm relegated to it being done. Minnesota's better team. They've put the Nuggets on their heels. I think they've broken the Nuggets' spirits. I look with that line. Timberwolves 4.5-point favorites.
You don't think it's enough?
Give me that all day.
You like the Wolves?
Double digits.
So hard to count out a champion. You know I put a lot of stock into that. And I don't doubt anything you said on Minnesota. And they were so dominant without Rudy Gobert. They get Rudy Gobert back, and they go home. And you got a beat-up team in the Nuggets. And you got a deflated team in the Nuggets. And a broken will. I don't touch that game if I'm betting. Because the Nuggets could get blued out tonight. They could win tonight. But they could get blued out tonight. We'll see. We'll see where this goes. You tend to think it's obviously more than a 5-point victory for Minnesota.
Timberwolves, Rudy Gobert is going to be back. Anthony Edwards is the most unstoppable player on the floor, and that is with Nikola Jokic playing on the same floor as Anthony Edwards. Like, Jokic has looked like he's just going through the motions this series. Nuggets just don't have an answer.
Did you see the fine come down for Rick Carlisle? The Indiana Pacers coach, and look, there's been a lot of discipline handed down. A lot that office of the NBA has been busy between Jamal Murray throwing stuff on the floor and Patrick Beverley throwing balls into the stands and everything else going on. The NBA fined Pacers coach Rick Carlisle $35,000 this morning for criticizing the officiating after Game 2 of the Knicks series. And remember that drew Josh Hart's ire. Quote from Josh Hart of the Knicks: Rick saying whatever he feels has nothing to do with us at the end of the day. I think it's pretty disrespectful to us, because at the end of the day, we're out there playing and competing at a high level. It's not about officiating. It's not about anything like that. Okay. All right. I look at this, 35,000 fine. They had to do something, right? 35,000. I don't know what Rick Carlisle makes. I'm going to guess somewhere in the area of $8 million. This seems like, okay, dude, we had to find you something.
You can't. The last thing any of these leagues want is, with everything that's gone on, is players or coaches casting doubt on the outcomes of games being directly influenced by the league and the referees.
Carlisle makes $7.25 million a year. He's among the top earning coaches in the league. When he was released by the Mavericks in 2021, he went to the Clippers on a 4-year. I don't even remember him coaching the Clippers. Do you remember him coaching the Clippers? 4 years, $29 million. I don't remember that for a second. Do you?
Did he ever coach a game?
I don't know. I don't see anywhere where he did. I've read a lot of stuff today that I don't think is right. Thanks to Kenny Thomas and Nick Nee, who are with us today. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On is here at 4. We're back with award-winning radio. I don't know, you want to say Monday? 7 a.m.? Adrian, great week on the video side. Good week, JJ. Fun time? Big weekend for you?
Huge weekend.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind and loving and caring and sharing. We'll smell you on Monday.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Cross-Camara here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for